Howdy, Americans. I was just thinking about something. When I went to the Memorial Day festivities in Fort Myers on Monday, it was really special. It was really special. I had a pretty good uh, setup between the announcers and the dignitaries that were doing, and then off to my right just happened to be the bagpipes procession. So that was, I had never been there. I had no previous knowledge of that. I had just kind of lucked out into that location. And I thought I produced a pretty nice video on that Memorial Day opening ceremony. I'm pretty sure it went on for hours, but I got there about 45 minutes or a half hour before probably about 45 minutes before it commenced. I probably, the video was probably only like 15, 16 minutes long or whatever. But I know they were doing a lot of amazing things on that day, but I had other things to get to. But I was so impressed with the bagpipes and what they did. I felt like I pretty much culminated what I could do with my phone. My phone will only record for a maximum of 32 minutes. I really don't know how to splice things yet, but so now let's get on with this. What I'm trying to get the message to you about is learning American Sign Language, right? So if you watch the video where I almost got killed by a school bus, where I would have could have potentially been sleeping, uh, that 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 residence there was the parents of a former girlfriend, right? So she had a younger adopted daughter who was deaf and was like a really like nice young child. Like I think Susan was 10 years younger than the other lady. I forget what I called Mary. I forget what I called her in the other video, trying to protect her identity. But probably about 10 years younger than her older sister. And then she had another older sister, a little bit older as well. But Mary and Susan were pretty close. And Mary could sign very, very fluently. I mean, like, was just like off the charts fluent. And so could Susan, obviously, because that's all they know. That's the only language they know. So I kept trying to talk to her. And when I say talk to her, first I was trying to talk to my girlfriend. I'm like, I really want to learn more about this language. This language is, and so I said, please tell me more about it. So we did get into some really deep and good conversations about the American Sign Language, and she pretty much did indicate that like a lot of the people that are deaf are very, very isolated society. Like they're very, very hard. It's hard to break the barrier, so to speak, is what she was saying. So when she told me that, I was like, man, that's kind of like, that kind of sucks, Like I'm thinking that to myself. I said that to her, and then I went out and bought the book. This is many years ago, but I don't know if it's still considered one of the best or not, but I know at that time it was. It was called The Joy of American Sign Language, right? It was a thick hardback book, and it would show you picture by, frame by frame, whatever. And it was a really good book. So I learned a lot by doing that. And it was way before the internet was a real big thing, right? So what I would do is I would I bought all these index cards, right? Talk about a geek, right? I bought like hundreds of 3x5 index cards, and I would write down the word, and then on the back, like I forget how I did that, but I remember I had like my cue cards, and it was like when I would see the cue card, it would reinforce my memory on how to do the sign, right? Like, obviously, like this is I love you, whatever, and so that's I, that's L, and that's you. So that's ILU, I love you, right? So that's some of the things. But sometimes, just like it was weird. So little Susan saw that I was trying, right? So then I would ask her, like, I would ask for help, and I was trying to sign. A lot of times I would have to finger spell, right? Because I didn't know all the words, but it was really weird. Once I could see in her eyes, like literally see in her eyes that I was trying to enter into her world, so to speak, just just in a communication level, just to be able to talk to her, like she seemed like a really cool, cute kid, and so I was trying to do a lot of that, right? So I literally tried to learn. It was, I forget what it was, 50 or 100 words a night, and then I would stack them, then I would shuffle them and try and remember, like expand my vocabulary, reaffirm what I already kind of knew and stuff like that. So it was really, it was a lot of work on my part, but it was pure pleasure to honestly feel like I was learning something, but communicating with another human being that was pretty much isolated from society, right? So I did that. I don't know how long I did that for, but finally, her and I became very close. She, they sign so damn fast. It's like humans talking, right? They're like, and like I couldn't keep up with everything, so I had to tell her to slow down at times, And I don't remember. I honestly don't even remember the sign for slow down. That could be like, whoa, slow down. I don't even remember. I forgot so much of that American Sign Language, and I do feel guilty about that. But so the it was really inspirational for me to feel like I knew I could communicate, right? I could do the basic communication. I could pretty much carry on a sentence at any point in time. I would do it slower. At times I might have to finger spell something, stuff like that. I could communicate to them where they could understand. Sometimes they would communicate so so fast that they weren't finger spelling. It was hard for me to like understand what they were saying. I don't know if that's comprehensible to you or not, but it was really interesting. But I really, really enjoyed learning American Sign Language. And then years later, when I worked at the bait shop down here in Bonita, there was a deaf guy that came in, and for some reason, I did remember. It didn't remember all of my sign language, but I was able to communicate to him and say thank you, and all these different things. And he was like, his eyes lit up, and like when he knew I knew a little bit of sign language, it was like opening up the door to heaven to him, like because it for them that is so rare that people know American Sign Language, right? So I'm thinking about getting back into that, trying to relearn that language. Um, every once in a blue moon, I run into somebody, but it never hurts, it basically comes down, and you can make someone's day by communicating with them or just being able to say thank you in their language, or just give them a compliment or whatever it is. But any language is a form of communication. I feel like if you're performing some type of positive communication with another human being, you're on the right track, right? So that's all I have to say. That The Joy of American Sign Language was a real thick hardback. They may have different ones now. There's probably a lot of YouTube channels out there now doing that, teaching you a lot better. I know that, you know, I always hear stuff on the radio about Babel, you know, and stuff. I don't know how they do that over the radio, but, you know, there's probably a lot of different ways to learn American Sign Language. So I encourage you, you know, you or your, you know, if you have youngsters, grandkids, young kids, it's really fun to learn that language, and it can be so rewarding once you finally communicate with somebody who has that hearing disability and stuff like that. So that's my message for the day. You know, if you get a chance, learn American Sign Language. Peace out, folks. And remember, that's our message for the day. Peace out. Talk to you.